if you think about it, there's a very strong need for a Bango, which is a company where anyone with a mobile website or an app can go to plug into to collect payment from all the mobile users. If there isn't one of those, they're going to have to either give their content to someone else who will sell it to all the users, which means they lose connection, like a middleman, like giving it, which is possible, or the middleman then will need that technology. They either build it themselves or whatever. And the other part is they're going to, so that's one way of giving it to someone else, or they're going to have to plug into all these different billers. Now, that sort of technologically there's that problem, and we solve that because you plug into us and you get broad reach to everything. But the other nice thing is that yes, you can do it yourself, but the clever thing about Bango is it has this network effect that if one company, say in Electronic Arts, uses Bango to collect money from their users for their games, and then there's another games company, say a Glue Mobile, says I'd like to sell games to that user. The good thing is we know that user's had a previous transaction history with EA, and we can, where privacy rules permit, where EA allows us to do it, and where the user wants us to do it, we can share information. We can, let's say the user had to pay by credit card for some reason. We can say you've bought. Well, let's say you've bought it. Let's say you had to give your credit card details because you're on a company phone and you're not allowed to spend any money on the company account buying a game or a speed camera detection app or something like that. Then you give EA your credit card details. The next time you come to another content provider powered by Bango, we've got the credit card details ready to reuse because we've remembered them.
A unique ID.
Yeah, that's right. We know who you are, so we can keep information. And there's lots of things we can do about that. So we get this a bit like an eBay. You know, the clever thing about eBay isn't that you can sell things to users. It isn't that there's this amazing piece of software, which I'm sure is extremely clever. It's that there's a market there, so that the more people that come, the better it gets for everybody. And the same with Bango. The more people that come to Bango, the better it gets for everybody.
So Ray, you've been at the forefront for the last 30 years in Cambridge as a pioneer of technology. If you could give just a couple of lessons for young entrepreneurs who are graduating perhaps from your college this year, what would they be, and how would you sort of inspire them to do the next great things for the next 50 years?
I think the first thing is that you shouldn't take too much. You shouldn't necessarily believe the advice of people who've gone before you, like me, because I'm an old duffer now, and therefore, if you think maybe, but on the other hand, the prof might be wrong. So I think there's lots of new things that are going to come along. And so what I like to do is I like to see what people are doing and think, wow, that's off the wall. But when you learn about them and you think, wow, that's amazing that they thought out about that. So I don't think there's any way that someone like me can give advice to someone who's doing an amazing thing. I came across someone doing something with NFC the other day, and it's really exciting what they're doing. And I'm sure they can learn some things from Bango, and there's some synergies we can work with them and so on. But what they're doing is amazingly good. And the danger is to bog down what they're doing by thinking about what we've said. Because if we'd paid attention to what mobile operators said, or what Microsoft had said, or what Apple said, or what people who are experts have said, a lot of VCs paid heed to what people who used to work in mobile operators who then joined the VCs said, and the ones that did that generally didn't make wise investments in many of the things they did. So I think don't necessarily listen, but don't necessarily treat as gospel truth. Yeah, I mean, or evaluate and compare, and challenge your gut instinct, but don't necessarily disregard it just because someone says something against your gut instinct. You've got to figure out why. You've always got a rational model that you check against. So I think any faith you have, and that's why doing this isn't a religion. That any faith you have, you've almost got to have checkpoints or checks to make sure is it wrong, because then you can prove it. If it's wrong, then you can stop doing it.
Okay, right. Thanks very much. Well, there you have Ray Anderson telling you that even if Bill Gates thinks you're a total idiot, go with your gut instinct. Next month we're interviewing David Cleevely, and if you don't know who he is, shame on you. Go and look him up.